If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Heading to Las Vegas to catch the action at Allegiant Stadium? Skip the traffic and the sky-high room rates of the Strip. Book your stay at the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. The South Point is located just 7 miles away from the stadium, and it's a quick trip up the freeway, making it an affordable rideshare or taxi ride. And don't worry about getting here when you land in Vegas. We offer a convenient airport shuttle to get your getaway off to a stress-free start. Shuttles are also available on Raider game days for a small fee. So whether you're rooting for your team or seeing your favorite band in concert at Allegiant Stadium, South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa is your ticket to all the excitement.
Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. It is time for Sports by the Book. We are live from the South Point Hotel and Casino. You can find us 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. here on the YouTube channel. I'm Alex Way alongside Ryan McCormick. It's going to be a fun one here today, as the entire week really has. I mean, we went from Chris Andrews, Matt Neverett. Yesterday, we had Wes Reynolds to talk some golf. We'll give you some updates on Pebble Beach, too, as it just kind of started a little bit ago, a couple hours. And today, it's going to be very fun. We have Brendan Gaughan joining us in about 40 minutes to talk NASCAR with Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday. So really bringing in a lot of people. We know it's a little slower time right now after the big game last Sunday. We've got a lot of college basketball, though, mid-majors, a ton of mid-major games going on today. But with the Olympics going on as well, Ryan, no NHL daily, but it's been a lot of fun so far, starting off in Italy. And now we've got another shutout happening right now. We had one this morning with Switzerland, which I was pretty surprised about, 4-0 over France. And now Canada is on top.
Yeah, yesterday I did say Canada would be pretty fired up after the U.S. women shut out the Canadian women 2 days ago. 5-0 with their win. So the men's team should be pretty fired up throughout this entire tournament. And yeah, they're pitching a shutout right now with a minute 30 to go in that game of 5-0 versus Czechia. And
it was fun to see. We did see Mark Stone score with an assist from Mitch Marner to the Vegas Golden Knights there. And then on the power play, Ryan, as you talked about too, Crosby to McDavid to McKinnon. Pretty easy one there.
Yep. Yeah. 13 seconds into that power play, they had their fourth goal of the game. And then Nick Suzuki, the first ever Golden Knights draft pick outside of the expansion draft, adds the fifth goal for Canada. He obviously plays with the Montreal Canadiens now, but yeah, a lot of Knights love there for the franchise here in Las Vegas.
Well, and it is Thursday, and hopefully we do have Dwayne Colucci coming up shortly. Little bit of internet issues for him, but we'll keep you guys updated. And we love starting off our Thursdays with Dwayne Colucci over from the resort at Summerlin. But let's do a recap from yesterday, and I love it. Had Wes Reynolds on for golf and asked him if he liked anything in college basketball. It gives us an outright winner, an underdog that ended up winning yesterday in Virginia Tech. So overall, pretty good day for the team. But what did we see trends wise?
So going to the NBA first, we had 14 games we have 3 games today, which is the final 3 games before the NBA All-Star break. But yesterday, favorites went 9-5 straight up in the NBA and 8-6 against the spread. The only favorite to win and not cover was the Denver Nuggets. They win by 6 as 14-point favorites against Memphis. But totals in the NBA, I think for the third time this week, match the favorite straight up. 9 overs, 5 unders, 9-5 there. 9 overs, 5 unders there in the NBA. And then men's college basketball favorites. I now notice that I didn't do the totals, but we're talking about the straight ups and the spreads. 32-12 straight up, 23-20-1 against the spread. My whiteboard play on Grand Canyon did not end up being a winner. Grand Canyon was down 13 points at halftime. Come back, take the lead with just over 6 minutes to go in the game, and then proceed to score 2 points for the rest of the game and lose that one outright against New Mexico. So, Grand Canyon doesn't get it done. The only push there on the spread, the 23-20-1, was Seattle. The underdog Seattle getting a 12-point push at Santa Clara. That number opened 14. So if you were one of the people that joined the 14 down to 13, down to 12, you got a winner there with Seattle, but you pushed on the closing number here at the South Point.
I was keeping an eye on that Grand Canyon game too. 2 of the better in the Mountain West, and yeah, they just could not score at the end there. But we're playing really good defense because they hung around. They still had a shot all the way to the end there. But totals, that's funny. You didn't go through them. I don't mind. The one that I did like going over, South Florida, Wichita State, not even close. I'm glad I actually stayed away from it and went with the 2 sides on the whiteboard. So a nice 2-0 day for me with the whiteboard bets. But yeah, let's talk a little bit of hockey coming up here. And then we can go through the slate. We'll kind of do it Kenny White style. I'll just go through some numbers and you could read through them if people are interested in some differences looking at the mid-majors in college basketball today. There's one game that I'm very interested in, and it is Memphis and North Texas. So I've got one college basketball play, but we can go through the numbers later. Let's start with some hockey, though, because Team USA is in action in just a few hours. Yeah.
Well, before we do, I did want to make sure that we mention our posts. Yesterday, we asked you guys which of the 4 favorites in golf you would be most inclined to take in this Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which teed off this morning at 8:45. Current leader is Siwoo Kim at 4 under through 4 holes. That was someone that Wes Reynolds did mention throughout our interview with him yesterday. You can check that video out as well. But our poll yesterday was talking about, the 4 favorites, which one you would be most inclined to take between Scottie Scheffler getting 3-1, Rory McIlroy getting 14-1, Tommy Fleetwood getting 20, or Xander Schauffele getting 25-1 there. And the leader in that poll was the leader in the clubhouse and the favorite, Scottie Scheffler there at 3-1. Then today's post, talking about the Daytona 500, which we will hear about today from Brennan Gaughan, joining us later in the show. As Gaughan Racing returns today as well. You can check out the @Gaughan Racing channel to check that video out. They have been very good over the last couple of years betting NASCAR. So Daytona 500 does return. Second race of the Cup Series. But we gave you Ryan Blaney in that post, 12-1, along with Joey Logano at 12-1 to win the Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin at 14-1. And William Byron, who has won the last 2 Daytona 500s, the 5th driver to win back-to-back, attempting to be the first driver to win 3 straight Daytona 500s. So we'll hear more about that from Brennan Gaughan later in today's show, but you can vote in that one with the link in the description of today's video. And then ticker trivia, presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Another Olympic question for you guys today. Ticker trivia will be live throughout the entire episode today. The 21st Winter Olympic Games opened in Vancouver, British Columbia on February 12th, 2010. Question is, which nation broke the record for most gold medals won at a single Winter Olympics during those 2010 games? So we'll give you the entirety of today's episode to get your answers in the chat and find a Ticker Trivia winner for today. But that was Ticker Trivia presented by City Light Shine. And now we can get to the hockey talk.
Well, I'll say we'll give you 33 minutes because I think we're going to switch it up a little bit, give our whiteboard plays, and talk about the Ticker Trivia answer and all of that before we have Brendan Gaughan come on and join us so we can get him out of here quickly because he's got to prep for his show coming up an hour after we finish. So, yeah, let's say 30 minutes. I imagine people are already jumping in and have an idea for that one, but we will see. I love those NASCAR odds. They're all seem like such good prices there. I am curious to watch the show, though, and see what those two have to say when it comes to groupings or head-to-head matchups, things like that, where you can find some value as well. But we'll catch you up on that in 30 or so minutes. You brought up Tommy Fleetwood and Rory, and both of them off to a great start. And we had talked about, Ryan, that this was their first one kind of going over the pond now and making their PGA debut for the season. And Rory 2 under to start the day, and Tommy Fleetwood 1. So looks like this might be a pretty competitive one. And I've seen videos about, how windy and everything it was there, but looks like the scoring's okay as of right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. But of course, Scotty Scheffler, who did win in the post, cannot fault you there, has not teed off yet. So we'll keep you updated there. But all right. And now we'll switch it over to some hockey talk, which, Ryan, I've got nothing in that first one. I know a lot of people are kind of making the case for the underdogs now, or at least taking the puck line, taking as many goals as you can because of the competitive games we saw yesterday.
Yep.
Kind of flipped with the first 2 today. So here we are, no money line unless you're seeing a different money line out there. But I know the USA's pretty big favorite here, and you're catching 3.5. Anything for you in this first one?
So Denmark, Germany.
We're going that one first. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. So we can go United States and Latvia first, but we did want your guys' thoughts with today's poll. So it is featuring the 2 remaining games in Olympic hockey today in the men's side. So we gave you Denmark plus the goal and a half. You have to lay a minus 125 price here in town. Germany minus the goal and a half. You're getting a plus 105 price. United States, a 3.5 goal favorite on that puck line, laying a minus 145, and Latvia getting the 3.5, getting a plus price in that one as well, plus 125 there. So we did want your guys' thoughts on that poll. But yes, talking about that United States-Latvia game, I did take a look at a book that has the money lines in town. The United States is a minus 38.46 favorite on the money line, 14-1 for Latvia to win that one outright. I would think that the Americans are going to be fired up. They got to kind of watch yesterday's games, watch Sweden take the scare, Finland take the scare. Really, Finland gets shut out, but and kind of an extra day to acclimate to being overseas and all that kind of stuff that they mentioned on yesterday's broadcast, that it does take time for these guys to get in rhythm, which it clearly didn't take Canada much time to get in rhythm this morning. But I would like to think that the United States will be able to get it done. Preferably by the 4 goals to cover that puck line there, but we'll see how it goes.
I agree. That is one that I am not going to touch. I do think the Americans get it done. And using my grandpa's kind of power rating system, he did have this gap probably as one of the bigger ones, actually. I was surprised by France because that one, not as big with Switzerland, but the other one, though, I guess rotation number should, on time, playing wise, should be the first one. Germany and Denmark. This is the one I'm going to take a shot on here, where looking at these two teams, I mean, I'm kind of just betting on the goalie, right? Because Denmark does have Frederik Andersen from Carolina, who I believe is one of the best goalies in the NHL. I think he gives them a shot to hang around in this one. I didn't think Germany had an NHL goalie. I don't know who they'll be going with. but they do have Philip Grubauer from Seattle. So got to imagine it will be him. Even though my grandpa does have another goalie that is rated just as high on their roster. So it'll be interesting to see here. But plus 230, that feels a little high to me using the power rating system that I was given. Got Germany closer to $1.50. So I'm going to take a shot there at that plus 1.5, minus 125. I think that's telling you something as well. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the plus 230 for Denmark to win this outright.
So this game will have 10 skaters from the National Hockey League. Again, I'm not sure who's going to be in net for Germany, but Alex did mention that Philip Grubauer is one of their three, and they're only of their three goalies to be in the NHL. So if he does get the start, we could have a NHL goalie matchup there. So could get few goals, and we also only have 10 total skaters from the NHL. Not saying that it's a massive drop-off in quality from the kind of lower level hockey leagues, but there is a reason that the NHL is looked at as the best hockey league in the world. So I do think that one will be a pretty competitive game, and don't fault you at all for getting the $2 price there, especially when your numbers have that big of a difference.
Henderson Silver Knights skater on Denmark as well. Just seeing that right now. I knew that we did have one from the AHL from our Silver Knights, but I couldn't remember which team, but it looks like it is Team Denmark. So should be another fun one to keep an eye on. But so with the round robin, Ryan, 4 per group, right? And they play each one once, and then it's a point system.
Yes.
Okay. So, and it's continuing. We've got more tomorrow that we will talk about as well. But then really excited about Monday, where we'll get to talk with Eddie Olczyk and see how it's been in person and what he thinks moving forward.
Yeah, the point system also is a 3-2-1 system. So it kind of what a lot of social media is saying that the NHL needs to establish and not have the loser point in overtime, not being the 2-1-0, 0 points for a regulation loss. It is 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for an overtime loss, and then no points for a regulation loss. So that is the Olympic format. That is what a lot of people are hoping the NHL moves to, but that is a completely different conversation. So yeah, going with Denmark. Another rooting interest, as Alex mentioned, the Henderson Silver Knights skater. So yeah, even more of a reason to go with Denmark there.
We'll see. I mean, these games have been kind of all over the place. As I mentioned, very competitive yesterday, which didn't really see coming. But especially, I mean, Team Italy, which we talked about them being the, home country there. And maybe that helps. But it was really the starting goalie that played fantastic. Yep. And then I believe he was injured, but so he didn't get to finish that game. Otherwise, who knows what could have happened there. But we'll see today already 2 shutouts. So none from France and none from Czech. So we'll see what happens for the next 2 coming up here. Hopefully Team USA can get it done as well. Yep. All right. Anything in the chat? It looks like JR, Attila, Dean Hilt. That's all I can see with the poll question. But good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we did have some trivia answers there. Dean letting us know that you should not be granted a point for losing, even if it's an overtime. But we'll that's a separate conversation to have. So we can go to today's college basketball as it's complete mid-major action, and we have 50 some games today.
A lot of games, yes.
57. All right, starting in rotation number order, 741, 742. We got Middle Tennessee State at Kennesaw State, and it is a home team favored by 3.5. Kennesaw State there, 3.5 point favorite, and a total of 145.
I'm using Kenny White's power ratings, 5.5 and 148.5 for this matchup.
All right, Northern Kentucky at IU Indianapolis, a 5.5 point road favorite there with Northern Kentucky, and a total of 163.5.
6.5 and 162.5.
Right there. Elon University at NC Wilmington, a 7.5 point favorite and a 150.5 total.
12.5 and 154.5. And if you're watching the show, you are getting a play there because he did have that. He did like the favorite in this one.
All right. So a favorite play and a lean to the over there with that one. Robert Morris at Cleveland State. A Robert Morris 4-point favorite on the road and a total of 152.
Home revenge built into this one, so that makes Robert Morris a 7-point favorite. They did lose last year, have not played this season yet, but lost last year 80-68 at home. So kind of decide if you want to go with that or not. The true number should be right here at 4, but if you're going to add in for home revenge. Total right there.
All right. Going to Valpo at Illinois State. Illinois State is a 9-point favorite and a total of 138.5.
8.5 and 133.5. So a lean to the under there.
All right. Monmouth at Drexel. Drexel a 2.5-point favorite and a 134.5 is the total.
Big difference on the total here. 2.5 and 113.5.
Whoa.
Yes. And there's a lot of red over there, both for solid defenses, time of possession, everything kind of matching up in that one. We'll see if we hear from JR. Looks like not huge streaks. 13 and 10 for Monmouth to the under, and Drexel is right there. 11 and 10. So nothing crazy trend-wise.
That total just moved down to 133.5. So somebody's listening. Going to Stony Brook at Townsend. Townsend is a 6-point home favorite and a total of 134.5.
So Townsend would be about a 4-point favorite there. Adding in the revenge factor makes them closer to 1. So the number 131, that is a Stony Brook +6 play. If you do like home revenge, it is from last season though, where Stony Brook lost at home 66-59.
Okay, going to Oakland. Youngstown State at Oakland. Oakland a 4-point favorite, 4-point home favorite, and a total of 156.
Oakland 2.5 and 155.5.
All right. Going to Murray State at Indiana State. Murray State is a 4-point road favorite and a total of 163.5.
Might want to dive into this one, see if you like anything here, but Murray State 1.5. So maybe a little value, taking the points there, and a very high total at 186.
Okay. 23-point difference there on the total.
Ooh. I'm Murray State much better offensively than defensively. Indiana State a little bit better defense, but both of them like to play fast. Very, especially Murray State, time and possession both offensively and defensively. So looking for an up tempo. Hopefully a lot of points in that one.
Awesome. All right, going to Georgia State and James Madison, where this total also just moved. Open 146.5. It has been steadied down to now 144. But James Madison is a home favorite of 5.5.
Actually have James Madison 5 and 141.5, and that is a home revenge spot for Georgia State, but it was already added in to get to this number. It is from last year, where James Madison beat Georgia State at home 86-79. So kind of James Madison, probably true number should be closer to 7.5 at home, maybe even 8 here.
Okay. Going to Hofstra at College of Charleston. Charleston is a 1-point home favorite. There are 1.5s in the market, but a total of 145.5.
I guess we have a lot of home revenge here. Hofstra, home revenge, which puts them into a play here, catching 1 because KW line is -3 and it's 151.5. It is from this season too, which I like even more. So Hofstra lost at home 66-64. It was a tight one. So maybe shop around. Maybe you can get a money line price with plus money on Hofstra.
All right, going to Marist at Merrimack. Merrimack is a 3.5-point home favorite and a total of 130, although there are 129.5s in the market.
And according to these numbers, it's going to continue to move down because 2.5 and 117. Okay. Marist does have home revenge as well from this season, 68-55. So that was a very low scoring game between those two. So if you want to dive into that one a little bit more, take a look at their pace of play, but looks like a good underplay.
All right, this next one, 765 and 766. We did have JR mention a note in the chat, but the numbers are William & Mary as a 6-point road favorite and a total of 179. JR did let us know in the chat that Northeastern is 16-7 to the over this year, but pointed out the line at 169.5, which is available in the market. But here at the South Point, it is a 170.
170. So 3 and 178, but it does say pass on the over. But to JR's points, combining these two should be a lot of points in this one.
All right, going to Detroit Mercy at Wright State. Wright State is a double-digit home favorite here, 10.5, and a total of 153.5.
6 and 156.
All right,
Pretty
going
close.
to Delaware at Florida International. FIU is a 8.5-point home favorite and a total of 146.
Sorry, I will just mention Detroit does have home revenge from this season where they lost at home 84-82. So was a pretty close one there. Delaware, FIU 6.5, total 140. So want to look into that one.
All right, going to IPFW at Green Bay. Green Bay is a minus 1.5-point home favorite and a total of 144.5.
Pick 'em at 143.
All right, going to Tennessee Tech at Morehead State. Morehead State is a 4.5-point home favorite and a total of 143.5.
Home revenge, but with that added in, still just Morehead State 4 and 146.5.
All right, Illinois Chicago at Drake. Drake is a 1-point home favorite here at the South Point and a total of 147.
Okay, 2.5. The other side, Illinois Chicago 2.5 and 137.5. I want to take a look at Drake. Okay. Better offense than defense, and not as slow as I thought they were. So 137.5, it is a pretty big difference. The numbers are saying under, and I guess it's more Illinois Chicago for that reason. 251 pace-wise, but if you want to dive into that one a little bit more, pretty big difference.
All right, going to 777, 778, UMKC at Oral Roberts. Missouri, Kansas City is a 6-point road underdog there. Oral Roberts, a 6-point home favorite, and a total of 148.
Former UNLV Rebels coach Marvin Menzies here at Kansas City, but it has been a little bit of a struggle. But still, I've got Oral Roberts 4 and 145. Both of these teams are just on a brutal losing streak, so I would stay away from that one, either side.
All right, going to Sacramento State at Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado is a 9-point home favorite and a total of 164.5.
4.5 and 179. So pick your poison. Looks like some value on the dog and the over.
All right, going to Northern Arizona, where Portland State is a 7.5-point road favorite and a total of 134.
12.5 and 134.
Okay, so right there on the total and a lean there to the Portland State getting it done on the road. Going to St. Thomas at Nebraska Omaha. St. Thomas is a 3.5-point road favorite and a total that just moved to 155.5.
6.5 and 156.
All right, going to Evansville at SIU, Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois is a 12-point home favorite, and Evansville, or the total is 141.5.
Here's one that I definitely want to dive into a little bit more here. Evansville home revenge. That brings the number to 7.5, and you're catching 12 here with the road dog. Total 138. So right there, it is home revenge from last year, and I think that's kind of why I bypassed it. But 68-59 was a closer one there. But yeah, if you want to take a look at that, I love when you're getting double digits and think it could be a 2-possession game.
I did see a stat in this game on Twitter this morning, or X this morning, from I don't know the person's full name. They just go by Casey. But their account is CSYBCZ. So a bunch of letters there. But letting people know that Southern Illinois is 1-10 against the spread, 6-5 straight up in their last 11 meetings with Evansville as a home favorite. Winning only one of those games by more than 7 points. So as an 11-point home favorite, the trend would say to go with Evansville here, but Evansville has just won, I believe, 6 games this year. So
I like it though, because it actually goes with the number. It's not just a random trend out there, but if you actually have power ratings and on these teams. But yes, you are correct, Ryan. 6 total wins, and they're coming off a win. But maybe they're feeling good. Maybe you want to look first half.
And then JR also letting us know that Southern Illinois is 17-7 to the under in their 24 games this year. So moving to the next one, which is Coastal Carolina at Louisiana Lafayette. Coastal Carolina is a 1-point road favorite and a total of 131.
Pick and 126. So books actually opened that one a little bit lower, and we're seeing some over money. So that means it's kind of gotten bet into becoming a play. Books numbers were closer to a real power rating number, but I would stay away. Coastal Carolina does have home revenge from last season. It was a tight game, 71-68.
All right, going to Southern Utah. My alma mater is a 5.5-point home underdog here against Cal Baptist. Total of 144.
6 and 135. So some value there on the under.
I will say that home environment should not be anything to really write home about. And Cal Baptist won by 3, I believe, at Cal Baptist earlier this year. So a little bit, it was a tighter matchup, but Cal Baptist is the top team in the WAC right now. Southern Utah has kind of struggled this year. So moving to the next one of Louisiana Tech at Missouri State. Missouri State is a 5-point home favorite and a total of 136.
6.5 and 127.5. Right. So another difference there in the under if you want to dive into that.
Okay. Little Rock at Western Illinois. Little Rock is a 6.5-point road favorite and a total of 141.5.
141.5 and an 8 for Little Rock.
All right. Southeast Missouri State at SIU Edwardsville is a pick'em here at the South Point. There are different favorites in the market of 1.5, but a total of 138.5.
Well, this one we do have Southeast Missouri State as the favorite, 5-point favorite on the road. So that is with some home revenge added in. You can find a book and get a 1.5 there, but lost earlier this season, 68-55. Very low scoring game between those two. Total 141. Is that where we're actually a little bit higher? How far down we've gone. So it would be the road team, if anything.
So in the market with Missouri State being a 1.5-point favorite, you're getting a plus 105 price there, where that price is. So
nice.
Going to South Alabama at Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a 1.5-point home underdog and a total of 135.
Slight lean to the over at 140 and South Alabama 2.
Okay. UT Martin is a 1-point road favorite, and they are at Lindenwood, where the total is 145.5.
Tennessee Martin 2-point favorite. So that has kind of flipped with where it opened. Total 132. Another low scoring game here.
13-point difference there on the total. Going to 801-802 Memphis at North Texas, where Memphis is a 1.5-point road favorite and a total of 137.5.
Memphis a little bit higher here for total, though, 123.5, and that is why I do love this play too. But I am going to go with the first half under between these two. Did already play once this season, and North Texas kept it close till the end there. Lost 57-48, but very low scoring game. North Texas much better defensively than offensively. And this game will be on national TV, whether it's ESPN or ESPN Plus, or ESPN2, I can't remember. But I think getting to host Memphis, North Texas will be ready for this, and their strength is their defense. So I like the under in that one.
All right, going to Utah Valley versus Utah Tech. This is a big in-state rivalry for a mid-major. Not as big as Utah Tech and Southern Utah, but anyway, we have a road favorite here of 8.5, Utah Valley there, and a total of 148.5.
10 and 150.5. So close on both.
All right. Weber State at Idaho. Idaho is a 5.5-point home favorite and a total of 156.5.
3 and 161.5. So dog and over if you want to look into that. Weber State does have home revenge from this season. where they lost 75-67.
Okay. South Dakota State at Denver. This is a pick'em here at the South Point and a total of 158.5.
Denver won 154.
We did have JR mention in the chat that Denver is 19-3-1 to the over this season. They are the top over team in the country there. So the total at 158.5. Going to San Francisco, hosting Oregon State. San Francisco is an 8.5-point home favorite and a total of 141.
5.5 and 137.5, and that is a number with no home revenge or anything. So if you want to dive in and take a look at Oregon State, see if it's worth the play.
Okay. Going to Belmont, where they are a 5-point home favorite against Northern Iowa, and we have a total of 138.5.
3.5 and 129.5. And that is all because of Northern Iowa with their pace of play. Both of them defensively ranking out of the 325 slowest on that defensive side. So, played this season already. Northern Iowa does have home revenge where they lost 78-65 to Belmont.
Okay. Tennessee State at Southern Indiana. Tennessee State is a 6.5-point road favorite and a total of 147.5.
6.5 and 153. So slightly into the over there.
All right. UT Arlington at Abilene Christian, a 1-point road favorite there with UTA and a total of 135.
2 and 132.5.
Idaho State at Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington is a 3.5-point home favorite and a total of 147.5.
2 and 144. Idaho State does have home revenge. It is from this season, and that matchup was actually very close. No, it wasn't. I couldn't read that number far enough. 84-66. So I would stay away from that home revenge there.
All right. Double-digit road favorite here with Hawaii at Cal State Bakersfield. Hawaii is a 12-point road favorite and a total of 149.
15 and 153.
You battle UC schools. The first of the two on the day, UC Davis at UC San Diego. San Diego is a 5-point home favorite and a total of 150.
2.5 and 145.5. UC Davis does have home revenge, though, from this year where they lost 80-74, but that is factored in with that 2.5. So if that's a big enough difference and you want to get involved with the dog, catching 5.
All
it's
right.
up to you.
Going to Cal State Fullerton at Long Beach State. Long Beach State is a 1.5-point home favorite and a total of 157.
1 and 153.5.
Okay. UC Santa Barbara at UC Riverside. Santa Barbara is a 6.5-point road favorite and a total of 145.
Should have dove into this one a little bit more. 12 and 145. So looking like a good road favorite to be able to lay the points with, but I would take a look at those two, Santa Barbara and Riverside.
All right. UC Irvine on the road at Cal Poly. With a road favorite here, Irvine -5.5 and a total of 158.5.
8.5 and 157.5.
All right. And we've got a double-digit amount of extra board games. New Jersey Tech at New Hampshire. A 1.5-point home favorite there with New Hampshire and a total of 143.5.
Pick and 149. So if you want to take a look for those overs. Both no trends on either side for those two teams, though.
All right. Vermont at Binghamton. Vermont is an 11-point road favorite and a total of 136.5.
15 and 135.
Maryland, Baltimore County, 3-point road favorite at Maine, total of 135.
7 and 133.
Bryant, a 5-point underdog on the road at UMass Lowell, and a total of 142.5.
UMass just 3 and 141.
UNC Asheville at Longwood, same total as the last one, 142.5, and Longwood as a 2-point home favorite.
1 and 137.
Presbyterian at Charleston Southern. Southern is a 1-point home favorite and a total of 146.
Pick and 143.5.
Presbyterian at Charleston. Oh. Yeah. Mercyhurst at Lemoyne. Lemoyne is a 2.5-point home favorite and a total of 137.
2 and 135.
Central Connecticut at New Haven. Central Connecticut is a 3-point road favorite and a total of 128.5.
A little bit higher there, 6.5 and 133.5.
Stonehill, 1-point road favorite at Chicago State, and a total of 132.
Stonehill, 3.5 road favorite and 120.5.
Long Island, a 6.5-point road favorite at Wagner, and a total of 140.
Long Island, 12-point favorite, 142.5.
St. Francis, Pennsylvania, there, and at Fairleigh Dickinson. Dickinson is a 7-point home favorite and a total of 145.
7 and 148.
High Point at South Carolina Upstate. High Point is a 14.5-point road favorite there and a total of 155.5.
18 and 157.5.
And the final game of the night on the extra board, Winthrop at Gardner-Webb. We have a 19.5-point road favorite and a total of 155.
22.5 and 153.5.
All right, that was the rapid fire of all 57 games today in men's college basketball.
Hopefully you heard some differences and you can do some homework and dive into it and see if you like it, or hopefully it confirmed if you were already looking at a game and you agreed or disagreed and want to go the other way. But I will be playing the Memphis and the North Texas under. Probably a little bit of full game, but bigger bet on that first half under. Okay, Ryan, let's take a quick break. When we get back, let's talk some NASCAR. First time, I was going to say this year, first time in a long time. So we'll have Brendan Gaughan joining us to break it all down. Daytona 500 coming up this Sunday. And don't forget, there is a viewing party here at the South Point where you can have a chance to win multiple prizes for the Pennzoil 400 coming up in March. So you want to be here. Doors open 10 a.m., great drink specials, great food specials, and giving out prizes. So this is the spot to be here at the South Point. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Brendan Gaughan joining us when we get back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday Sports by the Book, live from the South Point Hotel and Casino, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Ryan McCormick, host, co-host and producer behind the scenes there. I'm Alex White, and now joining us in person for the first time on Sports by the Book. I don't know, maybe.
With you?
With myself, I think. Brendan Gaughan, former NASCAR racer, also host of Gone Racing with Jeff Motley. You guys do a fantastic job. And also father. And I know you're kind of an adrenaline junkie, and I know your kids like to do a lot of crazy stuff now, right?
I don't know why I get accused of being an adrenaline junkie. I do a few fun things. I mean, I scuba dive, I've raced cars, I've skydived. I don't call it adrenaline junkie. It's just fun. Just fun. I like life. Life is fun.
Have your kids done some skydiving and stuff like that?
No, skydiving, hopefully they don't. Scuba diving, yes. Both my boys actually do scuba dive. Taught them both at 10 years old. So they both are big divers with me. But the skydiving part, if we don't, once I scuba dived, I never went back. So I'm sticking on the ground.
Okay.
Sticking, underwater in the ground. That's my deal.
And then part-time special occasion ticket writer, and you were last Sunday.
I did, and actually, I was very, very upset with myself. For the first time ever, I will rat myself out, and I did not balance for the first time in my life, and my Aunt Patsy is rolling over in her grave, and if Jimmy was here, he would have smacked me upside the head with many objects because I did not balance, and I was very, very, oh, here we go, yes. My 1 day a year, by the way, 1 day a year I work the sportsbook window, folks. So please, the one guy that came to make a round robin bet, no, you're going next to my nephew. Jake is next to me. What I do, actually, what's really fun though about this, this is what my family has been writing tickets in a sportsbook since my grandfather put the sportsbook in a casino.
Right. Yes.
And so my grandfather, my father, and what was really special this year was you had me in window 12 at the end, which is my window that I commandeer. You put my nephew Jake, my dad's grandson, next to me. My dad's other grandson, John, was right there. Next to him was my godson, Gary Stearns. And next to him was, if you're a Vegas guy, the Salerno family. Vic Salerno is a very famous bookie and bookmaker in this town. His grandson, Max, was at the window next. So very cool to have all the old school cronies, all my dad's grandkids. We took another great picture, this time not just with my nephew John, but with also my nephew Jakers. So hopefully that'll be hanging in the sports book soon. But it's a family affair. It always has been. Dad comes in, shows up for 5 minutes, heckles each one of us, and then leaves us to do the work. So it is a lot of fun. I do love Super Bowl Sunday, and we had a good time in South Point.
Once they kick off, are you guys done? And you get to watch the game?
The boys stay. The boys actually have a job. Me, I just do it for fun. So as soon as window closes, what kickoff goes, I close my window, and I count my drawer out, and I head home to my mom's chili and the Super Bowl party she always has. So it's a fun deal. Super Bowl, come on, it's the most fun day in the history of the book. If anybody has not been to a sports book in Las Vegas, especially the South Point, where we take more risk and more action. I'm going to leave certain names out. We wrote over $4.7 million that day just in this building. And I'm going to leave some of my friends and some of the books they own. We outwrote 12 books combined in this town. So, so one book, we have a lot of fun. I mean, I booked over 200,000 out of just my window. A lot of big bets. I mean, the South Point, and it's what we do. That's why we have the South Point studio. That's why we have a Sports by the Book. That's why we invented the Visa Network with Mr. Musburger, and why it started was because we are bookmakers. That's what my great-grandmother was. People don't know that. My great-grandmother, Careful Kitty, was a bookmaker in the 19-teens in Omaha, Nebraska. That is how we started. That's how we got to Las Vegas. So we love the sports book, and that's why it's fun with us. And
you take care of the locals, too. And the party was great.
Which one?
Which one, exactly.
My God. Do you know how many parties we have? I mean, you had the exhibit hall, the concourse, the conference, the showroom. We had, I think it was like 9 different Super Bowl parties. It was crazy in this place.
How much did it cost to get in to all those parties?
I believe all of them were free except for one.
That's right.
South Point, that's the way we do it.
It's the best. And there's a viewing party coming up this Sunday.
There is a Daytona 5 viewing party.
How does that one usually go?
So the viewing party, I believe this year is going to be, do we have one in the ballroom or just the showroom this year? I can't remember which one we did. But basically, we always have a viewing party for Daytona. Look, the South Point is famous for a couple things, right? Rodeos and racing. And so the viewing party for the South Point, Sunday, February 15th, doors open at 10 a.m. in the showroom. Libinati will have that. They'll have all sort of drink specials. I'll try to sneak some City Light Shine specials in there. And it's that we're back to racing full time now. That's what you brought me on here, was to talk a little racing. So I'm here for you.
All right, let's talk a little racing here with the Daytona 500 coming up. And you guys, meaning you and Jeff Motley and your pit crew does very well too. They give out.
The pit crew does. We had a great season last year. The pit crew, Jeff Motley was the winner of the season. I was the donkey's tail of the season. But after my dominating fashion 2 years ago, you can't win them all, but I still was on the positive side.
Do you think you took too many long shots last year? What
I
do you
did.
think?
I took a lot of
You were
risks.
taking a lot
I
of
take a lot of
risks.
risk.
Okay.
But I mean, sometimes it's fun that way to take some risk, and I'm still going to stay that way. You hit a couple of them, they pay off. You don't. I still was positive for the year.
Well, I know a lot of people already watch your channel on the YouTube, Gone Racing, and that's coming up at noon.
Yep,
right?
we come up right here at noon, and then Sirius XM broadcasts
That's right.
it Fridays. So we're a Sirius XM show, which is kind of a big deal to come out of the South Point studio. That we got a big show on Sirius, so that's a lot of fun. And they asked us to come back. They still haven't figured out to fire me and Jeff, so we're still here.
What's you guys' quote?
Professionally unprofessional.
I love it. Yeah.
We are going to have shirts this May for sure this year. That's going to go for all the pit crew as well, because we definitely run the most professionally unprofessional show in the history of all podcasts or television or radio. So I love it.
Well, without giving away too much, because you're going to break it all down with Jeff in an hour and 12 minutes here, kind of give us a rundown for Daytona 500 this week, what you're looking for, and maybe where the value is, if it is matchups or group betting or taking risks with some long shots.
Yeah, look, Daytona, the long shot, this is where that Jeff calls it the crapshoot. This is where the long shot can pay big money, big dividends. Qualifying was last night. Kyle Busch got the pole. So, his odds are probably going to drop quite a bit because of that. But if you look at the odds that we're putting on the stream, nobody is a single digit. Everybody is a double digit. So you get a big return. But the problem is anybody can win this race. So you look at those guys down there, a Chase Briscoe, a Chris Buescher. Chris runs fantastic here. A Tyler Reddick, the Toyotas and those guys. A lot of big numbers on these. And there's some numbers that you don't see on this screen that we'll talk on Gone Racing. There's a couple 30, 40, 50 to 1 shots that I am a big fan of for this race. There are guys that I think can do very, very well and get a W here. And I hit the field bet, not at the Daytona 500, in Talladega a couple years ago.
Wow.
The field won. So the field bet is a viable option at a Daytona race.
Okay. Well, you brought up Kyle Busch, and he's never won here, right?
Kyle's never won the Daytona 500.
Okay.
He's won at Daytona, never the 500. So he's going for his, I think this is his 22nd or something like that. So he's starting on the pole, the front row, and he's got a huge number on him. So Kyle Busch is not a bad choice this week. And Kyle is very, very hungry after having his first winless season. Kyle is going to come out on a vengeance right now.
Okay, and maybe that's a little tease. You got to watch Gone Racing coming up to find out more. What are you looking forward to for the entire racing season?
New playoff format, one that I raced back in the early days of the chase for the Cup. So no more playoff style eliminations.
Okay.
Going to be different. Going to have big implications for bettors, because once you hit those playoffs and we started chopping guys out, everybody raced a little differently, those guys. So it's going to have some implications late in the season for the bettors. It's going to have a big implication on futures, because you don't knock people out of the playoffs as early. So that means the future numbers are going to stay longer on at least 16 guys. So a lot of implications for bettors. We want to get into that when we get to the Gone Racing show.
Any sleepers that you're watching throughout the year that you think are going to have a fantastic year?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how far SVG can come with his oval program, the road courses we know he dominates. Can he make the playoffs this year without having the win and in? His teammate Connor Zilic, this absolutely super stud that has come out of nowhere from the Xfinity Series, or now O'Reilly Series and trucks, and he's going to be a rookie. Can he continue this absolute monster tear and be a rookie that starts winning this in his first season?
Ryan was telling me that we missed. There was one race. Was it an Infinity Series, or what started already?
Well, the Clash at Daytona. So the Clash at Bowman Gray. It's basically an all-star race. It's always been a kickoff. It used to be at Daytona years ago. They moved it around. It was at the Clash at the Coliseum the last couple of years, where they did it in the LA Coliseum. This year they do it at a famous place in the East Coast called Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse. It is literally a racetrack around a high school football field.
Wow.
And they do play high school football at this stadium still. So they have the racetrack and the field. The Madhouse lives up to its name, and the race itself lived up to its name. It had some wild racing. And of course, a guy that has not won before, Ryan Preece, got a victory. Doesn't count as an official victory for the points, but he got his first win in Cup Series. So congratulations to him. See if we can have some good news for him all season also.
Ryan, do you have any questions for Brendan?
Well, we do have an opportunity for there to be the first three-peat in Daytona 500 history with the 24 car William Byron going for a three-peat here. Do you think?
And that's there? Dude, the toughest thing in the world is to win Daytona 500, right? I mean, that is the mecca of everybody. I mean, Dale Earnhardt Sr., who was the god of our sport, had never won one all those years. So William Byron going for a three-peat. Do I want to bet him? I got to look. And some people say, you haven't won it. You're due. The Byron thing, dude, he is phenomenal at this track. And it's worth look, he's not even the favorite. He's 16-1. He's going for a three-peat, folks. I mean, hell, 16-1, put $100 on the guy. You're going to at least get a great return no matter what. So am I against William Byron? No, I'm heavy on William all year. But man, doing 3 times in a row, as hard as it is just to win one, it's going to be very hard for me to say, let's jump on the Byron bandwagon for the first race, because so many things have to happen. To get it 3 times would be extremely special.
Geez, but just as a fan, right? You're kind of rooting for that.
Yeah, look, if you're a fan of Hendrick, if you're a fan of the Chevrolets, you're a fan of Byron, absolutely. If you're a fan of the Toyotas, if you're a fan of anybody else, you're going, them Hendrick cars are cheating. I don't want him to win again. Right. So our fan support and our fan base is a very fickle set of humans. So it's fun though. That's what makes NASCAR so fun.
It's like Kansas City going for a three-peat a few years ago, right?
Look.
2 years ago,
it's
right?
so hard to do it, right? I mean,
yes.
and it takes so many things to go right. The Daytona 500 is just one race, but it is our Super Bowl. It is the biggest event for racing. So to be able to do it, to be able to start a season, win 3 in a row like that would be I honestly didn't think it could happen. And if he does it, man, it's going to be a hell of a party at Old Hendrick Motorsports. And
you brought up manufacturers, and we actually have those odds here at the South Point, right?
Yep. We have the manufacturer prop every time we're Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota. Now, Dodge is in the Truck Series. Dodge has not returned to Cup. So for those that aren't really familiar with racing, but Dodge is back, but only in the Truck Series.
Okay.
They're working towards possibly a return in 2028. But Dodge will not be on those manufacturer props all year unless you find a book that accepts Truck Series racing. And if you find a truck bet, you'll have Dodges on there also.
Very good. All right. Anything else for us, Brendan, before we let you go?
No, just it's start of the season. New playoffs, bunch of new tracks. We're going to the Cup Series is going to San Diego at the military base at Coronado. Oh my God, I can't tell you, I've never been more excited for a race. Return to Chicago, and the Chicago Land Speedway's back. So a lot of stuff, a lot of things to cover when we get on Gone Racing, and a lot of new that is old and a lot of new that is, oh my God, new.
And then how much is South Point going to be a part of? Because I brought up that you can win some things for Pennzoil 400, which are fantastic prizes that you can win at the viewing party. We give
away sweet tickets. We give away sweet passes. We give away sweet stays at the hotel. There's a lot of cash prizes to go with it. I mean, it's the South Point, it's racing, and it's Libinati. He's as nuts as me and my dad, so he'll give away whatever he can in that showroom. Whatever we give him permission for, he'll push it twice and give it away. So that's what we do here.
Okay, well, we'll see you again. March Madness is coming up, and I know that
I might stop in if you want me. I don't mind talking a little March Madness.
Very good. I can't wait. You and Jeff Motley, I know, and you'll go up and stay for a little bit for the parties Thursday, Friday. It's the best here at the South Point. No better
March
spot.
Madness stuff. What do we call it? The most massive madness massive madness party. I can't think we get another M in there somewhere, but yeah, no, that's the best week. That Super Bowl. I love my NASCAR, but Super Bowl and March Madness, 2 greatest times of the year.
Oh my gosh, that weekend, so much fun. Just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, can't get enough of all the college basketball there. But looking forward to Sunday. Thank you for stopping in, giving us a little preview of what to expect, and we'll all be watching in an hour to get some bets from you and Jeff and the pit crew.
Anytime you want me, always here for you.
All right, we appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. I said we were going to give out our whiteboard plays, but we got to take a quick break. Get our boards ready. We'll give out the ticker trivia brought to you by City Light Shine, and then we'll get out of here on this Thursday. So we'll be right back here on Sports by the Book.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
Welcome back, everybody. Another thank you to Brendan Gunn for joining us. I love his energy, Ryan.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm ready to watch this next show and see what they have to say about this big race coming up. Great question, though, asking about William Byram, too, because I want to hear what they have to say throughout the entire hour with that three-peat, trying to get that there. But let's hit some ticker trivia, some poll results, and all of that before we get out of here.
Did just want to mention that we do have the South Point 400 as part of the NASCAR series, and the beginning of October 4th, it will be here in Las Vegas. It is the South Point 400. So
I thought I was like throwing up a softball for him
to bring that one up,
bring it up, for later in the year. But he was thinking now, short term, I think. So, but thank you.
Very
so
quick.
yes, and we love going out there, and the Clydesdales are out there.
Mm-hmm.
small piece of the whole thing, but yeah, so ton of fun there.
We also did have JR asking about Cadillac joining F1. That is true. Cadillac does have a Formula One team now, but talking NASCAR on that show. So going to our ticker trivia presented by City Light Shine, available at Lee's Discount Liquor, Total Wine, and here at the South Point Hotel and Casino, where you got to get down to check out all the things that we have on property. But for our ticker trivia, it was written as the 21st Winter Olympic Games opened in Vancouver, British Columbia on February 12th, 2010. Which nation broke the record for most gold medals won at a single Winter Olympics at those games? The host nation of Canada established a brand new record for the most gold medals won by a nation at a single Winter Olympics, securing 14 golds in Vancouver in 2010. That record was later broken, as mentioned by JR in our chat, or later tied first by Norway and Germany in 2018 in Pyeongchang, and broken with our now new all-time leader of gold medals in a single Winter Olympics is now Norway with 16 golds at the 2022 games in Beijing. So Attila was the first to get the answer correct of Canada. Nick also had the correct answer as well. But your ticker trivia answer, presented by City Light Shine, was Canada back in those 2010 games with the most gold medals, one of 14.
And then, do you want to hit poll results before we give our best bets?
That we do. We're talking about the other two hockey games today with our poll. They're in the Olympics, men's hockey in the Olympics. So keeping it close or not so much. Your puck line Olympic hockey play for today: Denmark plus the puck and a half. You're laying a minus 125 price. Germany minus the puck and a half, getting a plus 105 price there. Or going to the other game of the United States and Latvia, the U.S. laying 3.5, laying a minus 140 on the 45 on those odds, and Latvia getting the 3.5, getting a plus 125 to take that price there. And our vote with today's chat from our vote from our viewers in today's chat would be Denmark taking that puck and a half, getting or laying a -125 price, going along with your play on Denmark on the money line.
Hopefully we get there. Let's go, Frederick Anderson. We need you here in this one. Thank you, everybody, for giving us your thoughts on that, for sticking around with us. A lot of mid-major games. Hopefully you found some value if you are just looking to make a couple bets for tonight. Tomorrow, we do have some more college basketball that we will talk about. And Sean's Fighting Badgers, Wisconsin, up against the Spartans. So we'll definitely be previewing that and some of the other big games tomorrow, UNLV and Boise. Looking forward to that one too. So other than that, I think that's it for us for today. We'll be getting ready too for Eddie Olczyk joining us on Monday, and we'll see which bookmaker can actually step in tomorrow. 10 a.m. We're going 10 a.m. tomorrow, not noon like you are used to. So it'll be our first early morning Friday, and could be quicker. Like I mentioned, not a ton of college basketball, kind of like today, but so. All right, for me for today, we are going with the whiteboard plays of the day on this Thursday, February 12th. One college basketball, Memphis, North Texas, first half under. We're going under 64.5. And then let's go Team Denmark, taking the puck and a half, and also a little bit on that money line, plus 230. That is it for me on this Thursday. I'm going to tune into Gone Racing, so I can have some more bets for this Sunday. Also, that reminds me, because Sean loves the Saturday slate, I'll have some Saturday numbers. That will be where our big games come from, so we can go over some of those tomorrow, so we don't have to just run through the entire mid-major board tomorrow. We'll look ahead to Saturdays too. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chatting with us. Ryan, any final thoughts?
No, I was just gonna kind of maybe mention that, yeah, we will look ahead to Saturday's games, as they will be part of our poll, especially there are 4 ranked on ranked matchups, only one of which is a second of the season series between the two. That would be Clemson and Duke. But our poll tomorrow will feature the other 3, as they are either the first or only meeting of those teams in conference this year. So you'll have to tune in tomorrow as we talk about those on Friday.
And maybe even take a look at some future bets, because I know I've made a couple now to win the NCAA tournament. And that's why I said, because Sean found a great value on Wisconsin right here at the Sell Point 300 to 1. So we'll talk about some futures and some value plays too on tomorrow's show. Okay. Thank you, everyone. If you missed it, the interview with Brendan Gaughan started about 10:40 in this episode, and we'll be back tomorrow. For Ryan, thank you to the crew, and Jerry, Sean, Vince, and Andrew. I'm Alex White. We appreciate y'all. Go Team USA. First of many on this road to gold. So be rooting for the Americans in the game today for men's hockey in the Olympics. I'm Alex White. See you guys again in less than 24 hours tomorrow here on Sports by the Book.